Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here with the Pig Dogs Morning Show, man. Money making Saturday. Got the franchise player Chris Ruffalo with me, and of course, Jovan pops in on Saturdays and Sundays. Money making Saturday, man. 46 college hoops games today.
Yep.
Um, no NBA, no football, just straight college hoops, man. No NHL, LA. Um, no NHLA, just college hoops. 146 of them things, man. Y'all know the joy finna cook it up, try to smash it per usual. Chris, what's happening?
And no NHLA today, but we got probably one of the games of the tournament, the Four Nations face-off tonight, U.S. and Canada at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, no, like you said, 146 games in the crank for college hoops. I've been burning the candle at both ends all night, writing some of them, doing the digging. I'm still putting in premiums, so still lots of work to be done, but also lots of money to be made, especially after last night. San Jose State burned my ass, but that's okay. You know what? We get it back today. Nevada finally decided to show up and get to work, but that's all they can do for now because they're not going to the tournament. That's all I can say. But how you doing?
Doing all right, doing all right, doing all right. I had one play yesterday. I had North Kentucky.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
let's not overcomplicate it, man. Let's just fade the Jovans, aka the Gottliebs, aka Green Bay. Let's get it
I
done.
wonder how
My
Toronto
name is
will beat
my
us.
name is not associated with them bums.
I was just about to
I'm
say.
I'm the I put a scope in them boys and put one of them in every time, man.
I was just about to say. I wonder how he feels about you associating his name with the Gottliebs.
Nah,
Oh
absolutely
man.
not.
Yeah, that's all I had yesterday. Just one play with that small card. Jovan, what's happening, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, I mean, it was an even day for me. You know, so I got juiced. It seems like I'm either winning or just getting juiced in the last couple weeks. So for the most part, I've been having winning nights. So was on Nevada. That took me to an even point. Um, so that was a late night action right there. I forget what I had, what else I had for winning because I went 2-2. But what the hell was it? I'm drawing a blank for some reason. But yeah, whatever it was, that hit, and then I had that Cornell. I don't know why I even had Cornell. I knew that spot, and even with a lowly Harvard team, can't can't fade them in that spot. They're having a down season, but Tommy Emrick still there. He knows how to coach, and they got the dub. So that was a bad play right there. But you know, looking forward to today because it's a monster, and I think I got some hitters.
Yes, sir. It is a monster, man. It is a monster. And y'all know we finna try to navigate our way through it, ladies and gentlemen. So, I mean, ain't really much else to say, but let's get her done. Let's go ahead and hop right in, man. Uh, we're gonna go through. How should we break this down, Chris? Who should be the first slot? You're muted.
I've been screaming profanity this morning. Um, Probably go. I would say 12 to 1:30 for the first one, or 11 to 12:30 your time,
All
because
right, man.
that 2 o'clock time slot's huge.
All right, man. Let's do it. Calipari boys, aka Arkansas, aka them Razorbacks, out on the road facing Texas A&M. A&M lands 7.5. Clemson land 4.5 on Florida State. Rice, Tulane, Miami, Pitt, St. Bonnie's versus the Romanellis, aka UMass. DePaul versus Xavier. UNC Greensboro versus Furman. St. Joseph's versus George Mason. Vanderbilt versus Tennessee. Wisconsin versus Purdue. Illinois versus Indiana State, Bucknell Lafayette, Colgate Boston U, Chicago State Lemoyne, STFU versus Central Connecticut, UMass Lowell versus New Hampshire, UMBC versus Bryant, and Army versus Navy. Chris, you're first, buddy.
You're not going to believe what I'm about to say.
You on them Calipari boys today because it's the right play. I know. Go ahead.
I'm taking Arkansas plus 8.5.
Welcome.
I'm impressed. At least their last couple road games. Beating Texas, beating Kentucky. I know some people may say these teams are not as good as maybe their records would indicate, or maybe that they're being given credit for. But let's face it, Arkansas has been a disaster for much of the season. Up until maybe the last 3 weeks, and so much so that Jovan just didn't want to be here anymore. Now that I'm talking about Arkansas, but I mean, let's face it, Arkansas lost to LSU. It hasn't been good for Arkansas this season, but the Hogs they beat Kentucky at Rupp by double digits. They beat Texas on the road. Texas A&M's a solid team, but there's been a lot of games lately where they've sort of been winning close. They won but didn't cover against Oklahoma. I could see something similar here where maybe if Texas A&M wins, they win by 6. So catching 8.5 here with an Arkansas team that's trying to play their way, really into the tournament and, make sure they're nowhere near the bubble. I think Arkansas can get it, at least keep it close. So give me Arkansas plus the 8.5. And let's see if there's anything else here. Give me UNC Greensboro plus the 3 against Furman. Furman's just been inconsistent. The thing about Furman is that they like to shoot a lot of threes. UNC Greensboro has the best 3-point defense in the SoCon. And UNC Greensboro's also had the upper hand on Furman in recent meetings. They won 5 of the last 6 head-to-head. So I'm going to take UNC Greensboro plus the 3.5. I might put a little bit on UNC Greensboro money line. I still think they're one of the best teams in the SoCon. So give me UNC Greensboro plus the points.
So, Ron, how you feeling first slap, my man?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm gonna agree with Chris on UNC Greensboro. When I first looked at the slate, I was looking at Furman, and then once I did some digging, I had to flip that. UNC Greensboro, they have owned Furman in recent games, and they're just in better form, currently. So I'll be on them plus 3. Put a slice on the money line. And that's how I roll with that one. I'm also on FSU to get it done against Clemson. Clemson off that upset win against Duke, followed up with a beatdown, against the Tar Heels. I just think that they might be feeling themselves a little bit too much in this spot. Might take the Seminoles lightly, but one thing I do know, the Seminoles ain't gonna take them lightly. So I'll take the 4.5, and I'll also put a slice on the money line with that one as well, because Clemson might be had in that one. And I'm on Wisconsin. Wisconsin gives Purdue trouble. These are usually tightish type of games. The free throw game might be employed by the losing team in this one, or the team that's trying to catch up late. And situation where I just want the points in my back pocket. So I will be back in the Badgers.
I agree with Jovan on Wisconsin. Purdue, they've kind of flew under the radar for most of the season. They're good. I thought for a second they wouldn't be as good losing Edie, but this is a good Purdue team. But I think today they kind of a little overrated, a little overvalued. I think this game comes down to the last bucket, and I think Wisconsin has a legitimate chance to win that game outright. So I'm going to take the Badgers as well. I'm on Vandy plus the points. I know a lot of people looking at looking at the bounce back spot at home for Tennessee after getting beat the way they got beat by Kentucky. Vandy kind of has, not been what they were for a little second there, but I still think that's too many points as well. I think that's honestly, wholeheartedly, like being 1,000% honest, I think Vandy has a legitimate chance to win it outright. But I don't know if they do it, but I think they have a chance. But I think what ultimately plays out, I think, is like Tennessee wins the game by like 6, 7. So We getting 12.5 in our back pocket. I'm gonna grab it there with Vandy. Of course, I know I'm fading DePaul. It's just automatic. We're fading DePaul. We're on Xavier. Let's not overcomplicate it. DePaul, Big East play, fading their ass. I don't got to say too much more. And Chris, welcome to the dark side, Brody. Welcome. Them Calipari boys, man. We finna go on a run. The run is coming. I think the Calipari boys got a legitimate chance to win this game outright today, and really just put that statement we hear. From a talent perspective, I think this team has the talent to compete with any team on the planet. It's just, can they bring it all together? And the way they've looked over the last 2 weeks or so, I like what I'm seeing from the Calipari boys. Take a shot on some plus money, and I'll grab the points in my back pocket. So that's what I like in the first slot, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it rolling. We head over to we got Houston out on the road versus Arizona. Houston 1.5 point favorites, road favorites in that one. An interesting game. ESPN 1:00, 2 Eastern. High Point versus Winthrop. West Virginia versus Baylor. Virginia versus Virginia Tech. Boston College versus NC State. Holy Cross versus Lehigh. Washington versus Penn State. Fairleigh Dickinson versus Long Island. Binghamton versus NJIT. Vermont versus Maine. Georgetown versus Butler. JMU versus Coastal Carolina. App State versus Georgia State. PFW Chang's versus Robert Morris. Charleston versus NCAA&T. Drexel versus William and Mary. Monmouth versus Towson. Hofstra versus Hampton. Jacksonville versus North Alabama. Oral Roberts, North Dakota. Denver, North Dakota State. Sanford, and Wofford. North Illinois versus Ball State. Bowling Green, Buffalo. Duquesne, Dayton. Yukon, Seton Hall. Miami, Ohio, Western Michigan. And Morehead State versus West Illinois. So right up to 3 Eastern. Jovan, how you feeling, brother?
I'm gonna roll with Purdue Fort Wayne. This is one where I flip flopped on. Not really flip flop, but I had a lot of trepidation going against Robert Morris because they're on the roll right now, and I don't particularly want to get in front of that train. But with it being 3.5, I'll take the points. Nothing I'm getting to the window with. Might be a little parlay piece if the 12 o'clock games come in. Throw a little long parlay for the 2 o'clock slate, and that might be one of them. So that's as far as it'll go for me with that game. Another game I fit into the same category is Georgetown. Plus 3.5. I expect it to be a close game. Whether it falls into the 3.5 or not, that remains to be seen. But I think it's going to be a close enough game to where, they should get the cover in that one. Nothing that I'm real strong about. So I'll leave it at that. Georgia State, also 3+3.5. Same type of deal. You got a lot of these, um, close point spread games to where I'm leaning with the underdog. And with them being a home dog, I think they might have a shot at getting the outright victory. Um, and there's one more. There was one more, but I can't. I don't see it. Get back to me if I see it, then I'll let you know.
For sure. I couldn't make this premium, but I'll tell y'all my thoughts. I like Arizona in this game, and I'm probably lining myself up. You know what I mean? I'm probably lining myself up. Houston is Houston. But this Arizona team, they got a little spark to them, man. They do. And bounce back game at home, underdog. I don't know if they lose back to back, man. I don't know if they lose back to back. I'm leaning towards Arizona in that one. I lean towards Baylor. It's a lot of points though. And we've discussed us three. I know we have on the show. This ain't the same Baylor team as years past. The thing is, it's like they're still a good team. How good though is still the $1 million question that I'm asking about Baylor. This is a game where I'll lay the 8.5 to find out. I'll lay the 8.5 to find out if I'm correct. I think this is still a good team. Are they as good as years past? No. But you get West Virginia out of home on the road. I think Baylor kind of flexes their muscles a bit in this one. I'm gonna lay the points there with Baylor. And I like Dayton against Duquesne, aka Duccanees. I know Duccanees got a good win against Loyola Chicago in their last one, but Dayton's head and shoulders the better basketball team. This Duquesne team, they're not poised for a run like last year, and I think they return back to who we've known them to be this season. I'm gonna take Dayton, just lay it there. Anything else? Unpopular opinion. I kind of want to put a couple dollars on Seton Hall plus the points against UConn. UConn's solid, not nearly as good as what they were a year ago. And they just feel overrated, overvalued. This is not a team I want to lay this many points on the road with. I understand how bad Seton Hall is. They're ass. They're garbage. They're terrible. It's more a fate of UConn laying 14.5 on the road than it is a play on Seton Hall. So Saturday, 1:30. Hopefully Seton Hall up for the game. UConn should win it, of course, but 11-point loss for Seton Hall, and we cash. Kind of what I'm looking at in this game. So just my thoughts. Chris?
Yeah, a couple of those I'll touch on it. I'm going to be on Houston, mainly because I get it. Arizona's been, turning their season around in conference play. The problem that I have is that this is also a team that can be extremely volatile. Mainly Caleb Love. He can put you in a spot where he goes off for 30 points and leads Arizona to a win, but he could also go 2 of 11 from the floor and just have issues with just putting the ball in the basket, and and as a result Arizona will suffer. We've seen it before in conference play, and we've seen Arizona have issues against teams that put pressure. This team kind of loses composure at times, and Houston's got that defense that can travel. And I have a hard time, passing up Houston in a lot of spots, especially when you're getting them at a coin flip price. I get it. Arizona's been really good at home, but for me, I got to stick with Houston. But I will agree with you on Baylor. I think down the road, Baylor's going to get hurt. They lost their big man for the season. Josh, I'm not going to try to say his last name, but 6'10". He's their tallest player, and he's out for the season with a knee injury. So now you have Omir, who's a great rebounder, but he's 6'7", and he's got to play center. That's not going to hurt here against a West Virginia team that also runs a small guard-heavy lineup, but down the road against taller teams in Big 12 play, it's going to hurt. And West Virginia right now has probably the worst offense in the Big 12. So going on the road to Baylor, I could see Baylor holding it down, getting a double-digit win at home. So I'll lay the points with Baylor in that one as well. Let's see. We're in 2 o'clock. So the 2 quick dogs I'll give out: North Carolina A&T plus the 8.5. North Carolina A&T, this is the best basketball they're playing all season. Charleston probably gets the win, but the first meeting was decided by 3 with Charleston laying 18. And like I said, A&T, they're just playing with some confidence right now. They just beat Elon. I think they can at least keep it close. I think Charleston just, maybe coming down to earth a little bit, maybe just playing with their food a little. And give me Washington plus the 6 and money line against Penn State. Penn State shouldn't be laying points against anyone in their current form. I think Washington's a live dog here. So I'll take Washington plus the 6 and the money line at plus 210.
Fair enough. Let's keep it rolling.
Hold on, real quick. I'm just gonna add in. I'm gonna add in Vermont. Maine hasn't been Vermont in forever. This is their chance. They are, I believe, number 2 in the American East. Vermont's number 3, but Vermont has owned that conference for so long. This is the time where they come alive. They have come alive, and I expect them to keep on winning, same as it ever was. Take the Catamounts money line, and if you want the 2.5, you could have it in your back pocket, but money line. And I do agree with Chris on North Carolina A&T.
Fair enough. We got Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. We got Gardner-Webb and SC Upstate. UCF against #We Coming, Colorado. Grand Canyon laying 8.5 on UT Arlington. Southern Indiana versus Lindenwood. Lamar versus Texas A&M Commerce, aka East Texas A&M. Missouri versus Georgia. The Lake Show, Mercyhurst versus Stonehill. Stony Brook versus Northeastern. The Citadel, aka the Citadel versus West Carolina. Toledo versus Eastern Michigan. Kennesaw State versus Sam Houston. The big one, man. Alabama laying 1.5 on Auburn. 1 versus 2 matchup. Stanford versus Duke. Cincinnati versus Iowa State. East Carolina versus Charlotte. Cal versus Georgia Tech. LaSalle, Rhode Island. G-Dub versus Davidson. Morgan State versus South Carolina State. Norfolk State versus Maryland Eastern. Howard, Delaware State. Coppin, NC Central. Wyoming, Colorado State. Loyola, Maryland versus American. Minnesota, USC. North Arizona, Sacramento State. Old Dominion, Georgia Southern. Texas State, South Alabama. Fullerton, Bakersfield. We got Louisiana Tech and Jack State. UNC Cashville versus Charleston Southern. Incarnate Word versus Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Word up. Nichols versus SE Louisiana. North Florida Central Arkansas. VMI Mercer. Tennessee State, SIUE. UT Martin, East Illinois. Tennessee Tech versus SE Missouri is where we will stop. Fellas, it's a pretty big slot. I stopped at exactly, what was it, 4?
Yeah.
4:45. Yeah, 4:45. I'm up first in this big ass slot. Couple things I like in here. Let's go through it. I'm laying it with UNC Cashville. No reason to overcomplicate that one, man. We call them Cashville for a reason. I know Charleston Southern has been playing well, but as well as they're playing, that line is 10.5 for a reason. Don't overcomplicate it, man. Just lay the points, cash comfortably with Cashville. Small in on Minnesota. USC always overvalued, still overvalued. Fading their ass. Let's see what else is in here. Of course, I'm on my Cyclones, the number 1 team in the country. I know we ranked 10 right now. We'll be back. Don't worry, we'll be back. And at home in this one, I think they beat the brakes off of Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati has won a couple games in a row. But Iowa State, I think they got it all out of their system. That 3-game losing streak they went on against at Arizona. Then they came home, got smashed by Kansas State. And then went on the road, got smashed by Kansas, aired out TCU, beat up on UCF on the road. Today, I think they would shed Cincinnati. I'm laying the points there with Iowa State. And I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the big one, man. Alabama usually come up short in these moments. I'm on Auburn. I'm just taking the better team, is what I'm doing. I'm just taking the better team, the more talented team, and that's Auburn. Um, I get Bama's at home. I understand why they're favored. It's going to be a hell of a game. I'm on Auburn. They're the better team. That's just my argument. So that's what I'm doing in that one, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have a razor sharp edge in that game or nothing like that. I'm just telling you my thoughts. My thoughts say Auburn. Anything else? Lean towards them Grand Canyon Lopes. Small lean on UCF against Colorado. Texas Tech, I think, beats the hell out of Oklahoma State. I think Georgia beats Missouri outright. I got a lot of thoughts in this slide, man. And I think that's it for me, though. Chris?
Yeah, you can have the Mike Whites all you want. I'm taking Missouri.
They overrated, bro. I really believe
you want to talk overrated and talk Georgia. This is a Georgia team that's starting to fall apart. I mean, they're starting to run out of steam. They're starting to show youth now. We got to remember, this was a Missouri team that went 0-18 in SEC play last year. And Dennis Gates retooled it. And now all of a sudden they're winning games. I know they haven't won a ton of games on the road, but this is a team that also went into Florida and beat the Gators. It's not easy to do. So, I just think we're starting to see Georgia start to maybe crumble a little bit. Fade down the stretch. They might still have enough to get into the NCAA tournament, but yeah, they're not seeing any of my money. Give me Missouri. Let's see here. Where else am I? Let's go. Auburn, Alabama. I'm with you on Auburn. I went into that game saying, I wanted to be on the side of the team that was catching points there because you're catching points with one of the best teams in the country. And Auburn, especially since getting Janai Broome back, it's going to be big because, Auburn can go to the boards with Alabama there, and I think they can hold their own, maybe even bully Alabama on the boards as well. So give me Auburn with you plus a 2.5. Anything else here? I'm taking the over in Stanford Duke. The only reason I'm not laying the points with Duke is because Duke has a tendency to, get close to covering the big numbers, but not actually cover the big numbers. Like they were laying 23 in their last game against Cal and only won by 21. Stanford's a respectable team, but Duke's also scoring around 82 points per game at home this season. 80 points per game in conference. I think that we get up and over this total. And yeah, that's all I'll rock with here.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna start with South Carolina Upstate. They're on a losing streak. These are two bad teams, to be frank. But South Carolina Upstate, they battle. They're at home. And like I said, facing the Gardner Webb team, who I don't want to lay points with, I'll take the points in this situation. More George Washington. This is a tough game. Davidson, they're on the heater. George Washington, they're playing well as well. In that situation, I just want the points in my pocket. It's over. Possession is at 3.5, so I'll be taking the points there. I would like to take Stanford, but this line went from 21.5 to 18.5, and that's a type of move that could get Duke to cover because they could get this one sleepwalking. Stanford not in good form offensively at all. I believe like in their last 5, they're shooting at a 39% clip. That's not going to get it done going in the Cameron indoor. So, the only way Duke doesn't cover if they don't want to cover is what I'm saying. So if you want to take the dog, I'll support it. But look, it's probably going to be a loser as far as I'm concerned. If unless Duke plays around, which can happen. They didn't cover the last game, but they won by 21, and it was a 24-point spread. I was hoping it was going to be a 22-point spread, stay there. It didn't happen. It went the other way. So I think that move might get Duke to cover. More Charleston Southern. They've covered 4 of their last 5 games. Now they are facing UNC Asheville. UNC Asheville, they've been running amok in that conference. So I'm just playing the number in that one. I think it's just a little bit too many points. And given Charleston Southern's recent form, I'll be on them to get the job done as far as covering, not winning. No, I don't think they're gonna win it all. Um, but I will take the points. And VMI, they got boat race their last game, but generally speaking, they've been covering. And Mercer, let's just call it what it is. They're not like that, to be laying 7 points. So I'm on VMI to get the job done. Might put a slice on that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep it rolling. Knock them down. We got we stopped at all right. We got Cornell versus Dartmouth, North Colorado versus Portland State, Florida Gulf Coast versus Lipscomb, Stetson versus Austin Pay, Texas Southern versus Grambling, Alcorn State versus Bethune, Houston Christian versus UT Rio Grande Valley, Mississippi State versus Ole Miss, Presbyterian versus Longwood, 1-ho, 2-ho, red-ho, blue-ho, UTSA versus Tulsa, North Carolina Syracuse, Wake Forest SMU, Fordham Richmond, PV versus Southern, Jackson State versus Florida A&M, Penn versus Brown, Columbia versus Harvard, McNeese versus New Orleans, Villanova versus Providence, LSU versus Oklahoma, Pacific versus Oregon State, Alabama State versus the Abe Simpsons, West Georgia versus Bellarmine. We'll stop there and then we'll do that last slide all in one. Or I'll go through 6. We'll go through 6. Sorry. UNLV through Fresno, Belmont versus the Salukis, Alabama A&M versus Mississippi Valley State, Idaho versus Eastern Washington, UC Davis versus UC San Diego, Elon versus UNC Wilmington, East Tennessee State versus Chattanooga, the Zips, Zip versus Central Michigan, oh no, that's where we'll stop. Akron versus Central Michigan. So we stopped at 7 Eastern. Chris, you're my boy.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Villanova here. On the road. I've rarely backed Villanova this season, especially during this little cold streak, but this feels like the closest that Villanova basketball has been to the tournament under the Kyle Neptune era. And they need to be able to take advantage of a spot like this. The defense that Providence was hanging their hat on, considering they couldn't score consistently, yeah, that defense has gone to shit in the last 3 or 4 games. That's why his team's on a losing streak. I think they've given up 80 plus in 3 straight games. I think this is a 30-point game for Eric Dixon. I expect him to feast on Providence here. I think Villanova gets the job done, so I'll lay the points with Nova in that one. What else do we have here? I'm going to go with Houston Christian plus the points against Rio Grande Valley. We're starting to see Rio Grande Valley kind of fall apart here. They were a great cover team early on. They were able to win some games early on the underdog role, but Houston Christian still one of the best cover teams in the country. They have the second best offense in the Southland from an efficiency perspective. I think they can keep themselves in this game, potentially give themselves a shot to win it outright. If we're talking about the last few games, I actually have Houston Christian favored over the last 6 games. So I think Houston Christian maybe worth a sprinkle on the money line as well. And I'm going to go with, here, what else do we have? I'm going to go with Oregon State at home against Pacific. Pacific, one of the dregs of the West Coast conference. Oregon State's been money at home this season. I know it's a big number for Oregon State, but I still think they've covered big numbers against worse and better. They've covered against pretty much everybody outside of who I don't remember who they lost to. I want to say it was St. Mary's. They lost to somebody, but I think Oregon State gets the job done against Pacific. So give me Oregon State at home laying the points.
Yeah, I'm on Mississippi State. It's just a situation where I've seen it time and time again with these two teams. Close game. It's either a close game or if it's a blowout, the Bulldogs is the one that's blowing out Ole Miss. So I don't want to sit there and be on the favorite, laying 4.5, and at the end of the game, they win by 3 if they do win. So I want the points in my pocket. I think that's the best way to proceed in this game. Be on the Bulldogs. If they win, they win. They did win that overtime 3-point game in the first one. And I suspect if they do lose, it's going to be a nail biter. So I will be on Mississippi State. I'm also on Brown. Brown got it done in a big way last night against Princeton. That was my other win. They're facing a Penn team who, I usually don't back. I usually go against them. They did get the job done last night. They could have got the outright win at Yale. They didn't get it done. They fell short, and they will fall short in this one. It's like losing the same game twice. One of those things that can't be employed in football in in some cases. I'm on Belmont. That's a hit or miss game, 50-50 type of game. But I fade the Saluki, so that's that on that. Whenever I get the chance. So I'm on Belmont. I'm on the road, slight favorite. I'm on Akron. I usually miss out on Akron as far as putting them on premium.
Zip.
Yeah, but they get the job done. They've been getting the job done for quite some time.
Reason why we love them zips.
Right. And in recent years, I haven't really followed the MAC like that. So I usually don't get to them. But if you know. I'd rather just be in other conferences. To be quite frank, I've left the MAC alone because I've took some damaging L's, if to say the least, in that conference because it gets kind of wacky, especially in conference play. Conference tournament play, So but I'll be on Akron in this one. They should drill. Who they playing again? I'm drawing a blank. Oh, Central Michigan.
Yeah.
They should drill Central Michigan. And I'm on Villanova. No Ed Cooley, no chance. We're finally seeing the downfall of Providence basketball. The dunk's not the dunk anymore. Kim English, his days are gonna be short lived in Providence. If they know any better. So that's really that. Villanova, they need to win. They should get the job done in this spot.
I'm with you on Mississippi State, and y'all know my thoughts on Mississippi State. I think this team is terrible. I think this team is ass. But if there's one game, all the step-up games they played this year, they ain't done shit. If there's one, it would be the in-state rivalry. That's just my thoughts. You feel me? So that's why I'm taking a shot on Mississippi State plus the points. That's it. That's all. Ole Miss ain't all that either, in my opinion. They're good, but I think that's whoever has the ball last type of game. Boomer, Sooner. This is the game these boys need, man. They've lost 3 straight, 3 really good teams, quote unquote, Auburn, Tennessee, and Missouri. They really disappointed me in that Missouri game. I don't think Missouri's as good as everybody else thinks they are, but they kind of showed me in that Oklahoma game. But I think this is the bounce back game Oklahoma needs at home. I think they beat up on LSU. LSU's terrible. Let's not overcomplicate this. Give me Oklahoma in that one. Y'all know I'm on the Salukis as well, man. We favor for a reason, man. Let's do it. We took a tough loss to Bradley, man, but we still playing, in my opinion, overall the better basketball. And at home, I think we get back to our winning ways, man. I do. Let's do it, Salukis. We got anything else to just jump off the page for me? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for me in this slot. I don't want to overdo it. Small lean on Presbyterian, but it's a lean at best. Small lean on SMU, but it's a lean at best. Yeah. I got y'all the ones I like in this slot for real. Oh, and zip. Sharp chaser line today with Central Michigan. Sharp chaser line, bro. We're just gonna stick with our guns, bro. Stick with the zips. They can't knock me off of Akron. They just can't do it. Zip. We got Michigan State versus Illinois. We got Kentucky out on the road versus Texas. TCU versus Arizona State. Princeton versus Yale. Idaho State versus Montana State. Marshall versus ULL. Troy versus Arkansas State. Santa Barbara versus UC Riverside. Cal Poly versus CSU Northridge. Seattle versus Tarleton. Omaha versus St. Thomas. Middle Tennessee versus Western Kentucky. South Carolina versus Florida. Utah Valley versus Southern Utah. Kansas State versus BYU. Weber, however you want to say it, State versus Montana. Utah Tech, the Eggs versus Cal Baptist. Give me Liberty or give me Death versus UTEP. FIU versus New Mexico State. Kansas at Utah. Boise at San Diego State. LMU at Portland. Pepperdine at Gonzaga. San Fran at San Diego. Wazoo at St. Mary's. And UC Irvine at Hawaii for the last and final game on the card. Jovan, I believe you're up first here in this one.
We're gonna start off with Princeton catching all those points. Is what I believe is at 10.5 against the big dogs Yale. Like I said, it's just too many points as far as I'm concerned. And they last time they played a couple weeks ago, they got boat raced by Yale. I think Yale, pulled away in the second half. So I think it was a situation where they was looking ahead to tonight. That's why they lost by 14 points or 16 points or whatever it was. I think that they come to play in this one. So I'm on the Tigers. I'm on Liberty.
That's funny. For some of y'all, it probably is, ain't it? It probably is at 12 for some people, right? Probably is Sunday for some of y'all.
Yeah.
That's crazy. For me, it's at 11, so it's still Saturday.
Yeah, I'm on Liberty.
Hey, Chris, I didn't even say you're muted.
It's Saturday. Let's be realistic. It's Saturday. Let's not try to make ourselves smart here. It's Saturday night.
Yeah, I would say so. No, it's everyone's partying on a Saturday night. Party don't start till midnight for a lot of people. So
For sure. Sorry, Devon. What you were saying there?
Nah, don't worry about it. Y'all live on the chat. So
that was directed at Romanelli, by the way.
Nah, I know.
I'm just making sure. Last thing I need is somebody to say, "Oh, Chris was flipping off everybody."
I took a little peek. I usually don't do that neither, but yeah, I caught it at the right time. I'm on Liberty. This is a UTEP spot, but I think that Liberty they're in a situation where they're gonna flex their muscle. They have come on strong after taking a couple L's as well they took one L in between a 2 3 point 3 game winning streak. So they're on the current 3 game winning streak, and I'll be backing them against UTEP. But UTEP they haven't playing well. Uh, I'll take a shot at Texas. I usually don't like backing Texas as any kind of a favorite, but they could score against Kentucky. Um, they've taken a couple L's. Kentucky on the other hand, they've won a couple. So I think that the roles reverse in this one, and I will be on the Longhorns. I'm not a Longhorn guy by any means, but I think in this spot they do get the job done. I would like this line to actually dip down to 2.5 so I can back the money line, get a lower price on it, and just take it for the outright. That's what I want to do. So um, if it doesn't happen like that, I might live bet it, see if they're down for in the beginning, first 10 minutes, first half, whatever. If they're down, I'll come and back them for the full game or the second half. It's usually the same number, so you can't go wrong there.
I'm on BYU. I think the line tell me everything we need to know. I think Kansas State's Linsanity run is over. That's been my statement of the week. And in the Linsanity run games this week, it's been pretty good. We've been doing pretty good in those games. So I just think Kansas State's run's over, and I think that line indicates it. Give me BYU at the crib. We know BYU. We were talking a couple weeks ago, entering BYU into that stupid, dummy, crazy home space. If they do what what I think they do today, they might be in there. We'll see. Give me liberty or give me death. I mean, they rolling. I just want to continue to roll with them. Hell of a game. You know what I mean? But I think Liberty's just a better basketball team. I just think they're a better basketball team. I'm gonna take them straight up on the money line. I don't even want to get involved with the 1.5. Just give me Liberty money line. Florida. It feels like I feel like I'm supposed to take South Carolina here. Auburn off, Florida off 2 solid road wins, Auburn and Mississippi State on the road. Now they come home, slight flat spot against, South Carolina, who's lost 5 straight? It kind of feels flat spottish for Florida.
South Carolina?
Yeah.
They're 0-11 in conference play.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
It just kind of feels flat spottish for me here for Florida. I don't know. I'm just letting y'all know my thoughts. I kind of want the points in my pocket with South Carolina. Jovan, you're crazy.
For what?
Them Texas boys. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't.
No defense for KU. Oh, for UK rather. No defense. Don't worry about it. They're gonna get the dub. Now, whether they win by margin, that's another thing. That's why I said what I said, about it dipping to 2.5 versus 3.5 or whatever it's at right now. So I might want to live bet it. See if they get down real quick and get a better line. Probably get a plus line. Some plus money to boot with it and back them. That's the beauty with live betting.
True.
Get a better number.
As a Texas fan, bro, Texas hoops, I'm scarred, y'all. I'm scarred. This team, just when you think they finna do it, they don't do it. I might just I think I'm gonna wimp out and just go Kentucky plus the 3.5.
Oh hell no.
I know. I know, man. I know. But I think that's the play. I see a 2-point Texas win or some, you know what I mean? Or I think Kentucky has a legitimate chance to win this game outright, bro. Texas is a team that just, when you think they finna do it, they don't, man. So I can't trust them. Y'all know I love Texas, bro, but I can't with good conscience lay 3 in the hook. I can't. Let's see what else is in this last slot for the day. I am kind of feeling TCU against Arizona State. And I know Arizona State's been playing well and losing, so you would think this is the spot they come home, dominate, and be like, ooh. But nah. I think that's another one that come right down to it. They probably win the game. I kind of like an Arizona State money line play, but I think TCU give them a run for their money. I do. I think this game come right down to the wire. 4.5 line. I'll take the 2 buckets in my back pocket with TCU. Arizona State is the better basketball team. I do think they win. I just think that's too many points.
TCU has the better head coach by far, Jamie Dixon.
So
a legend in 2 programs.
See, I'm feeling them Horned Frogs today. That's it for me, fellas. That's it for me today. Chris? Hook 'em? Oh. Okay.
I just can't lay points with Texas, especially expecting to win by margin. The line's up to 3.5. Yeah, I think it's a 2-point game if Kentucky doesn't win it outright. This is gut check time for Kentucky. There's just something that feels off about this Texas team for me, and I think Kentucky, like you said, I think they're live here, so I'll take Kentucky plus the points. I'm going to take Pepperdine plus the points against Gonzaga. Tired of Gonzaga burning people's money. They just keep getting these big numbers for good reason. They've had a history of kicking the crap out of Pepperdine. You want to guess how many that they've won in a row against Pepperdine?
How many?
Just spit on a number.
15.
15?
Damn. 20. Damn.
You're not even halfway there.
45?
48.
They've beaten them 48 times in a row.
They haven't won. Pepperdine hasn't won against Gonzaga since 2002. But Pepperdine's been able to cover some of these meetings. They covered the first meeting this season, only lost by 7, catching 20.5. In the last 10 meetings, it's 5-5 against the number on both sides.
Is today the day?
I don't think today is the day. I mean, if you want to take a shot on it,
in a plus,
I can't blame anybody.
Can I interest anybody in a plus 3,000?
Look, worse bets have been placed. If you want to put down $10, if you put down $10, why not?
Plus 3,000, you feel me? Anybody with me?
I mean, it's you can go with a 5-leg parlay for plus 2,500 or Pepperdine to beat Gonzaga at plus 3,000. I don't know.
History, Pepperdine.
But here's the thing:
Gonzaga
in their last 10 games have been a double-digit favorite 8 times. They're 2-6 against the spread. You know, they've been double-digit favorites all season long, and all they've been doing is lighting fire to people's money. Screw that. Gonzaga wins, but Gonzaga wins by 19. 83-64.
Pepperdine, first win in Gonzaga since 2002. I like the
I don't even know if the win was in Gonzaga. It might have been in Pepperdine.
first win against Gonzaga since 2002. I kind of like it. Got a nice little ring to it.
There you go. But yeah, no, give me Pepperdine. Give me Pepperdine plus the points. And is there anything else here? Give me the over in Omaha, St. Thomas. That's going to be a track meet, and I keep saying it. Summit League overs been money. Summit League known. Offense first league, no defense. They have 25 letters in their alphabet because the D doesn't exist. So give me the over in Omaha, St. Thomas.
Omaha. Fair enough. Anything y'all might have missed full card today?
Not from me.
Let me scroll back through one more time.
No, that's it. Maybe take a shot with Washington State.
Wazoo?
That's a tall task considering who they're playing, but it's a lot of points. So
let me see if there's anything else that jumps off the page for me. One must go through. I think I pretty much hit everything now.
Actually, there is one for me. Syracuse plus the points and money line against North Carolina. This North Carolina team keeps digging themselves into holes, and at a certain point, it's going to continue to burn them. I think the Hubert Davis hot seat is even getting hotter by the day. The ACC outside of the top four is volatile. Any team, it feels like it could almost beat anybody on any given night. Syracuse at home has won 3 of the last 4 meetings head to head. I'll take a shot on Syracuse.
I don't think I talked about it. Of course, we're on Alabama A&M. Of course, we're laying 12.5 on Mississippi Valley State. Come on,
Yes.
man. Come on. Can't believe I almost missed that one. But now that's it for me. I think I hit everything I needed to hit for y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Chris, money making Saturday, man. Plenty of things underneath the sun today. What you got today over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I'm going to have a lot of plays on the board. I'm still entering plays as we speak. There's going to be plays all throughout the day, 3 packs, 5 packs. So, if you're definitely looking to get paid today, I'm probably going to have upwards of in the mid-20s of plays on the board today. So jump on something, whether it's daily or long-term pass. For me, I think the 3-day, 7-day, and maybe even the 30-day are less than buying each of today's daily packages individually. So locked in on today's card, ready to make some money. But I also got my $15 play of the day as well. I'm going to bounce back with that after falling short yesterday. But lots of money to be made. Plan on making it.
Hop on with the franchise player, Chris Ruffalo, man. Make you some money today. Javon, what you got going on, my man?
Yeah, I got 20 plays up on the board. And I just realized that I forgot one, so that'll make 21. I'm gonna put that up on the board, and I don't like leaving premiums at an odd number, so I will be having 22 plays on the board. There's another one that that's good enough for a premium late night game as well. So. It starts off with a 3-pack for the 12 o'clock games, a 5-pack for the 2 o'clock games specifically, and then late afternoon, also have another 5-pack, and we'll be having a nighttime / primetime 5-pack on the board as well. And if I do have enough late night action, I'll have a late night 3-pack on the board as well. It's a lot of plays on the board. I particularly do like this slate of games. It's rubber meets the road on Saturday, for a lot of these teams. And I think I'm on the right side of a lot of them. So jump on board with something long term. I've been hot.
Hop on with Jovan, man. Continue to kick the crap out of the books with him. Appreciate the donation, Brody. You didn't say nothing. You just sent 5. Appreciate you. For me today over at Pick Dogs Premium, I don't have 20 plays like those two guys do. I told you I'm going kind of light this week, taking a deep breath with NBA on All-Star break. I'm still betting, of course, and I still have plays. Today I'll probably have 6, 7 6, 7. Oh my God. I can't believe I just did that. But yeah, so I have 6 or 7 plays today that you guys can scoop up over at Pick Dogs Premium. All college hoops today. So hitting the board, trying to come out with a profit. We cashed our play last night. Looking to keep the momentum rolling forward. So hop on over at Pick Dogs Premium. I know what time it is though. Parlay time. Parlay. Chris, what you got for me, my man?
What I got for you today is a 5-leg money line round robin parlay. All dogs that I think are live that can easily cash here. We're gonna go Arkansas money line, Boston College money line, Washington money line, Syracuse money line, Houston Christian money line.
Round robin.
Round robin them however you want. Bet what you can afford. But if you hit that 5-leg parlay, it's plus 49,000. So you just need to hit 3, I think, to make profit. So
Joe, what you got for me, my man?
I got a money line parlays. Get you a little bit more money than just being a spread because they're all underdog plays. So UNC Greensboro money line, FSU money line, Vermont money line. That's a 3-teamer. Wisconsin Badgers and Mississippi State. That's a 2-teamer. And one more would be, let's see, the Longhorns, Texas. Matched that up with, God damn, I'm on a lot of dogs. Brown. Two short faves. Texas Longhorns and Brown Bears.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, and Baylor. Little 3-team action. In and out. Little 3-team action. In and out. Like it. I like it. Money making Saturday, though, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we appreciate each and every one of y'all that continue to tune in and watch these episodes, watch these shows, watch the live shows and things of that nature. How many games tomorrow?
it's a smaller card, but let's see.
It's still pretty decent size. It's not huge. But
That's what she said.
oh, wow.
Yeah, you're looking at about, I'd say, 20.
About 30 games, I feel like.
24 games.
Okay. So, yeah, just 24 games for us to cover tomorrow. Be here or be square. Check us out, Pick Dogs Premium. Check out all the guys that even weren't here on the show today. Check them out over there as well. They got plays up. Check out the betting tools over at Sports Chat Plays. Remember, Mitch's Celebration of Life coming up in March. We'll be in Las Vegas on the 19th. We did a video for that on the channel. Just type it up, you'll find it. Ron Nelly broke down everything in the video. So hopefully I can't wait to see y'all then.
A lot of us are going to be there.
Yeah. So you get to meet all of us, man. It's going to be a good time. Celebrate the GOAT himself. So coming up on about a month away from that, it'll be here before we know it. So just reminding y'all of that. And see y'all tomorrow, man. Appreciate y'all. Get out of here. Peace.